Oh, somehow doesn't come. Cool. Hi all. Hello. I want to listen to make big more. Hi. 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 Yes. Here we go. So are you guys excited today?
Yes.
Or it's coffee is much needed now? Okay, cool. So have you been to Dilip's talks, Jonathan Lip's, APM talk? You loved it? No? I had been thrilled towards it. All right, so I am Pooja. I work with a company called MoEngage in India, Bangalore, and we are predominantly a solution provider to our customers, which helps our customers to help their customers by helping them re-engage with the right content and right time. What blah blah I said means that we provide a solution on the fly, out of the box, which they can directly use to generate such lucrative notifications which you get on your devices and makes you shop more. Yeah, so which goes like this. Imagine your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend gets a 40% off on her sandals and time for shopping. Yeah? So don't curse me for that. That's what we do. So we provide notifications with personalized time-based, content-based to our customers. Cool. Don't curse, go and fight with your wives because they have a very good answer for that shopping. All right, so why we're here, coming back to the topic is, so before I go, I just want to quick check, like you're sitting in the right room. What do you expect from this talk? Anyone? Small thing. No expectations? Oh, I was just roaming and come here. Is it so? All right, so we are here for understanding a system where we can collaboratively create a system where we can say that anything comes in, we shall not be passing a release. When I say collaboratively, I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous seeing you guys not speaking anything. Okay, so this starts from some time back when I started automating things. My first script, and I was like, oh yes, it works, and I can catch all the bugs and just take my developers feel good about my thing. And I hosted my test, and they were working perfectly fine for 1 week. And all of a sudden, one day, what happens is this. Familiar moment? Yeah? And unfortunately, that was that happened right moment when I was about to ask my boss, hey, I did a good job, I need a leave for vacation, like travel around the world. I could not ask. So this scenario made me think one point is, we should be thinking about these main points while thinking of automating and while thinking of not just automating one particular piece which you're working on, but for the future of it. So that's 4 points we are going to talk about. One is how do you choose your tech stack, and what are the pain points are going to come. Whatever you choose, they are going to come. And then what workarounds work for you, and how do you sell your bugs. Okay, so coming one by one. This is a common familiar picture which everybody sees, and we feel that if this is there in place, QA is done. So I want an honest answer. How many of you at your place you were able to achieve this? A quick hand raise. Awesome. 2 people. Get them T-shirts. Rest others. What is making it stop? Not happening it. Any pain points you want to share so that I can correlate with it and maybe I can try getting the answer for you. Yeah.
So developers aren't writing enough unit tests.
Yeah. Pardon?
Developers aren't writing enough unit tests.
Developers do not write
Enough unit tests.
enough unit tests. Okay. So even if you so one pain point is we developers do not give the test coverage. The gentleman says that, yes. Second pain point is even if you want to try to make it happen, what are the answers you get? The funny answers or The same common answers? I just got the requirement at night. I have developed it. What else you want? Check it live, right? So it's where we realize that only depending on unit tests and API tests is not sufficient, and you figure out GUI level where you have to cover your tests and you come up with some kind of framework. So here with me, the story was slightly different, wherein we had a lot of unit tests, we had a lot of API tests also, but we did not, we used to do a lot of exploratory testing wherein. So we were depending too much on these 3 layers, leaving this layer. So what problems we faced, I think everybody could relate. The one, our application was omni-channel, which means web and all mobile platforms, all popular platforms. So frequently UI changes were not allowing us to do exploratory testing everywhere. Second thing is, backend release is a small change in an API parameter can break my application, which is sitting in the App Store for a month now. And then your unreachable code in the production mode and the HTML encoding. So these things, example of these 3rd-point HTML templates which I'm talking about, this is a very funny example. So one of my colleagues has just pushed saying that it is just HTML, it's not gonna break obviously on the mobile apps, you just take the release. And I just thought, okay, logically it doesn't make sense. But what happened is he changed the encoding type and the HTML renders as a HTML on my mobile MWeb, which means NBSP colon and HTML tags, right? So it breaks it, so which required us to automate everything and to avoid this happening last moment panics or maybe production panics. So that's where we decided, okay, not having simple tests, having just smoke tests are not sufficient for us. We need to have a complete regression suite. For that, also we need to think about scaling. So we had, like I said, if your product is omni-channel, you have to think about those and then think about how to choose a framework, how to choose the tools. So for web, it was obvious to choose Selenium, which, like it comes with tremendous support. I really want to clap for the community which keeps coming with the solutions for APM and Selenium both. So I just want to clap for them because they really come with the support. But even then, so I started using APM from like 2012. And when it was in release of 0.6, and anybody used APM from that time? No? Anybody use APM now? Okay. So do you find a similarity between these points still? The first point? It happens. So any solution you thought of doing it?
Like on Android, I know it's mostly about we are using emulators, and it's mostly about configuring the AVDs.
Okay.
But it's like it's an iterative process. Like you figure out, you fix something, but at some point you find something else.
They start breaking. Yeah, they find their way back. Yes. So these are the common points. I am talking about in context of APM because I had used it and faced this problem, but the same problems will happen for whatever tool you use, no matter even the proprietary tool you use. So you need to figure out what are the ways to find the workarounds. So I see this problem as a tsunami. Tsunami, you cannot prevent happening. If it is supposed to come, it will come, but you can prevent your prevention layers, like you don't get affected. So one point, the first point, browser die, server crash, inspector crash, simulator crash. So we got to know from few learnings. One learning by now I had is I need to have a proper logging system. Check one. Logging system tells me clearly that this is not problem from APM. This problem is from my simulator. My simulator doesn't has a habit of keep crashing it. So I need to find out, okay, now how can I restart back? I know that I cannot control it being killed, but I can restart back. So point number 2, find what to do to make it alive back. So know your processes. If you are good at knowing your processes, It's very simple. In Unix, you just say ps minus df grep and your process name, and you find that, okay, this is the process getting killed all the times. Then find a way to restart back. Learning 3. So the third learning comes from either you write your own scripts, let's say shell scripts to restart back, or you can rely on some tools. So there's a beautiful tool called Monit, which I used. It's an open source again. So which just takes care of your processes. If they are shutting down, you can restart back. So this 3 learning I learned from the first point itself, that I cannot control it going down, but I can bring it back whenever I want. So the second point, locating strategy, this everybody has talked about, so I'm not going to repeat it. But yeah, in case of mobile automation, it becomes very important to choose it, because it looks like this locator should find your element, but with mobile, it doesn't work. So that's where you figure out other different layers. I'm not going to dig into this, but if you want to know, I would like to talk later. Okay, third is time-consuming to test. So anybody using any other tool than APM for mobile and feel the same pain there? Yeah? Which tool you're using? Espresso. And you feel that you are not testing your product, you're testing their product. It's time-consuming to reach the layer where you want to test your test? Okay. So what do you do to shorten this time duration to test your test? Sorry, can you get the mic there?
Sorry, it's not a problem that it's a long test. It's a problem that some devices crash and some don't.
Okay. So one self-learned, in Hindi it's called jugaad. So self-learned jugaad came in my mind is, I cannot invest my time more in testing my test itself, because the whole script should be running faster, right? So what I did is I just put a debug point. I skipped all the lines where I want to reach. I just skipped all the lines running from automation. I did it manually and reached the point where I want to test. So this was the trick, just came in my mind, so I did it. Then simulating gesture is a very interesting problem to have. Here, another lesson to learn from the previous journey. The previous journey says that, okay, what do you do for web gestures? Web gestures means mouse actions. So I'm assuming everybody used Selenium, right? So same thing you could do for mobile. Whatever tool you use doesn't matter. You just need to know the underlying architecture. So every underlying architecture should support the mouse or gesture actions, but how you would support in your scripts, that you need to figure out. So in case of APM, it became easy because it was on top of Selenium. So we know that JavaScript we can ingest. Now, the second point was to figure out what JavaScript means for Android and iOS. So for Android, it was UI Automator, find how to write that UI Automator script, inject it, and done. Same way for iOS. I'm sorry. This is the fifth point I want to address more. This is a very interesting point. How many of you agree? Same test work first time, but doesn't work the next time onwards. Want to share any pain? I would like to discuss that. No? Okay, so one typical example is this. I will show you. So in my project, I was having this home screen, and there is a pop-up you see with cancel and sign up button. I was supposed to click on cancel every time so that I can go in and do other tests. The first time it works, second time it doesn't work. Any guesses why it would not be working? Yeah?
Yeah, because it remembers that you press the cancel the first time.
I have written a test, which is a data-driven. So same test run again and again against multiple data. And everywhere, first line is click on cancel button. But second time, click doesn't work. Any guesses? Or if that happens to you, what would be your approach?
Is there something related to cookies or cache?
No, it's a mobile app thing, so it was not related to cookies and cache. It's a native app. So first time it finds. So my test is running for the first test data. So this is a, let's say I'm testing for, this app is for flight bookings basically. So I'm testing for flight from Bangalore to London, and second time London to Sharjah, let's say. So second time it doesn't work. I didn't reach that page still. Yeah? install in the app? No. So the thing is, second, I managed to get it. So every time this pop-up comes in, every time this is visible, still it doesn't work.
Could it be that it clicks before the event handler?
No. Almost near. Almost close. Yes, so this is an interesting problem to have, but that time it was a frustrating problem to have. So what made me think here is we had a logging properly. So from logs, I was seeing that element was found, but it was not clickable. Second, we had a screenshots. Screenshots also shows that cancel button was there. Third check, I actually personally sat and saw that cancel button in front of me. It is trying to click, but it says that I can't click, can't click. The reason was I passed my XML, and I found that by the time second test come, there is an overlay behind also with the same node. Do you see? So there's a huge XML in the beneath, and you see the second one is my item, which is visible in front, but the locating strategy says that I will pick the first one. The first one is this, which is not visible, so it is not clickable. So yeah, so this problem gave me one more learning is just not think about your logs, what you gets in, or what your screenshots gets in, but if the problem is not solved by these ways, then go dig down and see the page source. So that was the important learning from this. Similarly, one more example from my current organization. This is a drop-down, and I hope it's not very blurred, but yeah. So this is a drop-down which shows that I want to select a payment done, but you see the payment done are of three types, one with the space, second one is with capital camel case, and third one is small. So if I want to select any specific one, maybe first one we can check off, but the last two, if I want to select any one, this is not a select box. You can see in HTML, it's not a select box. So there's no way. I don't know what positioning it will be. Sometimes it may be first, it might be second, because it auto-suggests what do we do. So there I got to learn that sometimes it's not just your test matters, it also matters what application is written in. So the application was an Angular type. I cannot even do like set text of using JavaScript. I cannot do that. So I need to have a hang around Angular and find what is the Angular script which generates that drop down. Same way we can do it. So the fifth learning is know what application you are using. So talk to your developers and figure out ways, okay, how you have generated that. Maybe probably I can also find the JavaScript related and I can inject in my test. All right, so after we had enough problems and solutions, we had tremendous of tests. This was the time for us to actually showcase the tests, make them transparent, accessible, so that everybody can see. And this time I can actually get a leave leave for vacation. That okay, now you have tests and you can see everything there, and I just can go. But here is also not a smooth journey because I got to know there. Running on a remote machine is also equivalent painful like writing and testing it your own. How many of you agree? Yeah? Want to share any pain? Do you find the same thing, the flaky test? Same test work on your local, it doesn't work in remote, what do you do, right? So yeah, so you might be, you should check actually Orange test IAM or the Sauce Labs solutions also for that. They give you solution out of the box for most of the problems, but for some problems, having your own script, even there you have to resolve it yourself. The reason I found is, again, there also you should have a proper logging system. So you need to understand how to get your logs in CI correctly. Some logs are being truncated, not being shown in CI, but they work fantastically in local, so you have to figure out. Then screenshots are very important because you will be running nightly build, and morning you check, they are not there, you have to rerun and check, it won't happen. So you have your screenshots segregated properly. Whatever your application, certain modules, then segregate properly so you can quickly check. And then understand your process at the same point, but yeah. In my experience, flaky test always has been because of the resolution changes from remote to my local. So if you had your screenshots in place, you would get this an answer in the first round itself. You will get to know, okay, yeah, it is going out of the bound. It will not click. So then you understand, okay, what to make it doable. So in my usage, XVFB tool worked great. It gave me GUI under the hood. I did not need to install any monitor to do that. And you can take as a trick, after getting into trouble so many times, I have found this resolution works the best way. All right, so we kind of started from not having tests to tests, then making them stable, then running them in CI to reach to the point of continuous delivery. Now was the point again. Again, I try to think I need a leave, vacation. Answer is no, because obvious reasons. There are thousands of tests running, and if I have to make a release go no call, if my release manager asks that should I take or not, I actually have to sit half an hour and find out if something failed, still is it releasable or not, right? And then tell that, okay, how much time more will take? Is it my flaky test or is it their developer's thing? And if developer's thing, then how crucial they are? Should we wait or not? Right? So this problem again boiled down, and I sat with my CTO, and he was like, we need to figure out a way so that anybody can be easily worked. So here one thing, we had a nightly release, basically, because not to affect customers. And we needed release feedback during night, and we kind of work in day, and we don't have night team, so what do we do? So we wanted a way to address this list. So we wanted some kind of a dashboard which shows me all the tests together, which brings all the failure on top, which again in turn gives direct links to go to screenshots, etc., etc. And then finally, I came. Finally, the last point. We wanted a one-place solution even for our DevOps engineer who deploys the releases. If what to take live, which versions to take live, and if something goes wrong, which versions to revert back. Why is it necessary? Is because this obvious reason. A small click. I'm sorry. I'm bad at forgetting. Yeah, so fixing the production bugs generally goes like this. Yeah. So generally, this guy trying to fix another bug. There you go. Yeah. So this guy was generally lucky to have it, but if it happens in real life, it doesn't happen. You try to fix something on production directly, it breaks something else. So for a DevOps engineer, for a release engineer, it becomes very important. Quickly switch to previous version. Have the patch locally tested and then put it in production. So that's where we wanted a quick dashboard thing. So for that, I'm going to take you to the demo, and I'll get. All right, so this is how my typical. I have created a sample test and sample thing. It's visible. Oops. Okay. So we wanted a way. So we have typically taken only 4 tests in consideration to manage with the time in demo. So there are Android, iOS, web, and Chrome and Firefox, basically. And this is the RSA view, Release Status Analyzer, which looks like this, which brings the data, all the failure tests on top. And I'll come to it. Let's run a test in between. So this is a cycle. Oh. So this shows, yep. Sorry. This shows, I should have checked to use the resolution check here. I can't come out. Yeah, will do. Right, so I have my deployment job ready. So what it does is, whatever code you want to deploy on a particular machine, you just need to trigger it. It does whatever machine you give, and whatever release. So hypothetical, just take, let's say I want to deploy version 2.13 and I want to run all the tests for this release version. I just say rebuild. So it in turn runs these tests in parallel. So all the tests should be started and the feedback should be fed into the RSA. So again, RSA, if you see the progress is started, and it comes with the, I hope I can minimize, no. All right, so it comes with the details, like I can quickly go and detail reports if it fails. I can quickly check the screenshots here. I can quickly check, so this becomes useful for a QA engineer to tally if my tests are not flaky. If they are flaky, you can check and check the console, but generally screenshots and details are for everyone. With the transparency, anybody can check, and now see my tests are started. I am running in locally to show you the demo. So all tests will run in parallel. These are tests running. Here is my simulator. Chrome test is finished, Firefox is finished, iOS and Android is yet to start. So yeah, you go. So they are running over here. Yeah, so it's a simple calculator test, just that. So by the time they complete, we will understand how I have written this. So if you quickly see one plugin called Extreme Feedback plugin, it was a plain UI which just used to give the job details. If you see, look at the screenshot of it, it just to give just this. It just used to feed what are the jobs are being there. So for me, the need was to add my own info. My info required was where I'm running my test, which version I'm running my test, what was my last stable version, and the detailed reports and the screenshots and console, etc., etc. So this plugin I got to know from one of my colleagues, and I dig down in that code and got to know it is written in Java. I was also in Java, so it became easier for me to understand and feed the code wherever I required. So it just required a mindset to solve this problem, nothing much more. But so same thing, if you want to go in detail, you can check out in my blog. I have written how I have changed, what parameters I have changed there to make it happen. You can try and reach me out anytime. All right, so let's say maybe tests are finished, but I need to see here, RSA. Yeah, my tests are finished. So now it becomes very easy. So it gives me information that 2.13, the test has been run, but 2.9 was the stable version. And if you see, all of the tests have 2.13 as the stable version. So it gives a clarity. This code breaks on 2.9, breaks for only Android and all of the paths. So you can, anybody who is supposed to go to take release live, they can quickly check, okay, only it's breaking with Android. So there is a clear understanding that there's something which breaks only for Android if it is a backend release, right? So it gives them understanding, okay, related releases should be stopped. Whatever is going to affect Android release, all related releases should be stopped. And then he can also dig down and see a clear picture of it. So these reports also simple reports which gives the clarity. It looks blur. I'm trying to increase it. Yeah, visible. So it gives you clear understanding, okay, this test failed, TC4, division 4.3 division has failed. Why it failed? It clearly says that expected this but found this. So keep, another lesson learned, keep your reports very simple but very intuitive, like what has been failed, not like true is false. What was true and what was false? Keep your reports handy. And then you can see clearly in this what are the tests it ran against. So now the documentation thing also can be taken from here. Like these are the tests we are running always. So you do not need to actually physically document your test. Your test report should say all about your tests. Yeah, coming back. Yeah, coming back to this. coming back to this, this is what we have understood, and anything related to this, anybody wants to implement for their own, change what to change, you can go to my blog here, and anytime you can reach me out. I would be happy to do it. So a quick check on the lessons learned. We learned that first point I did not talk because we keep hearing from yesterday, same thing, use appropriate design pattern. Design pattern can be anything, but you have to decide on your product also which suits best. But few things you must take care of, whatever design pattern you choose, is your code also should be of production quality, which means that every of your script should be in units. So whatever it says, which means whatever the function name says, it should do only that, not beyond anything. And then say no to static. How many of you use frequently static keyword for your test scripts? No, or don't be shy. I will not tell anybody. Okay, so most of the people use, but the people who have moved to grid, they understood it. It's wrong to use. Why it's wrong? Anybody want to share? I still have 5 minutes. Yeah. Any idea? It doesn't change. Yes. So. What happens with the static? I was expecting if nobody uses a static, everybody's hand should be raised. Why not? Okay, so like the gentleman says that using a static keyword should be only when it is intended, not always, because the state is preserved. And if you're running multiple tests in parallel, they are going to screw up you big time, and you will not be understanding where is the root cause. Multiple threads talking to same area in the memory. So it becomes too techy that time, and you feel that, oh, I should have gone to basics and learn the coding again. Okay, and then proper logging, taking screenshots. If you have everything in place, start publishing your results in RSA. That's a way to sell your bugs. And finally, maybe now I can get time and ask for vacation. Yeah, and that's why I'm here now. Cool. So that's all about me and the talk, and these are the references. Demo project which I have shown you. If you want to get the insights on the design pattern and how I have utilized it to run all the tests in parallel, everything is there in this URL. You can just search P00Z4 and the Selenium APM Jenkins community. I always owe them, and big time. Yeah, you can catch me up. You can just catch me up. And yeah, thank you. So I still have 3 minutes. I would love to answer any queries. No queries? I'm seriously thinking you were just roaming and sat here? I'll sort it out. Maybe then I should listen something which I can learn from. Yeah. Yeah.
So your framework.
So I'm kind of having that issue where I'm using static when trying to run in parallel, and I shouldn't. So I'm just wondering, in your framework, do you declare your WebDriver as thread local or anything particular to avoid issues when running in parallel?
What did you say? You declare WebDriver?
So you don't declare your WebDriver as static, right?
No.
But what do you use? Like a thread local attribute? Sorry, in Java, or is it just avoiding static? That's it.
Yeah, I don't say avoid static, but I had to start saying this because I had seen a lot of friends coming with the same problem, and when I dig down, I find that it was due to static. So I started saying everywhere, stop using static. As a programmer, you understand what is the meaning of static, then you make a choice whether to use or not. But with WebDriver instance, you should not use, because then you cannot actually really parallelize your test. If the moment you try to parallelize your test, a typical example I'll tell from my personal experience. So I keep mentoring new learners out there. So one of the guy comes with a parallel test written for Chrome and Firefox, and it wasn't written as a static, what happens is the moment Firefox starts, so Firefox tends to start later, Chrome starts first, right? So Chrome starts, Firefox also starts. The Firefox driver hijacks the Chrome state. Chrome's test will not work later. It is obvious because static variable is shared between both the threads. So this second thread gets a control. Now it looks like it's a common sense. Why did he do? It's not that he's dumb. It's that the coding principles were not applied. If he would have known the meaning, he would not have used. But there are situations when I do use static. I can't recall the example now, but yeah, maybe we can check later also.
That's it. Thanks.
There are certain examples I oftenly use static. Yeah, cool. Any more?
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.